Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Grace again, and today we are going to talk about my son's bath. I'll call it the Hebrew woman bath. So it's a beautiful morning, so bright, and I'll just go straight to the point so don't waste much time. So it's a day, it starts with us going to the hospital because for the normal antenatal. I think this was the last, he was a bit overdue. So with a few days, so I think my antenatal appointments were actually finished. But this one was like bonus because he was still there. So he had delayed a bit for some days. So we met the midwife, she did some checkup, and then we came back with my husband and he went to work. That same day, he just continued to work. He had just taken off a few hours from work to go with me. With my son, we went for all appointments with my husband. He didn't miss any. So on my way back, I just decided to pass the mall. So I was just doing a bit of shopping, and so when we went with my husband, I'd actually packed what happened is that he went to work, and then I went with my bicycle and parked it somewhere near the mall. And then when he dropped me off, I picked my bicycle, rode it a bit, and went to the mall. Excuse me. So I had parked my bicycle by the mall, so I rode to the mall and did some shopping. So on my way back, I started to feel something. So this was about maybe 11 a.m. in the morning. So I start to feel something in my back, and then I am not sure what it is because I've not given birth before. So I come stopping. It's kind of an electric bicycle, so it runs very fast. For those who live in Denmark, you would understand. I'm not sure the electric bicycles, it's not a common thing in Africa, or I've not seen any. So maybe you not understand, but they run very fast. So I just slow it down, in fact, to remove the electric part and just go riding slowly with the normal, but it will be heavy because the battery is a bit heavy at the back, but it's okay. So I did it intentionally. People say you're not supposed to ride the bicycle at 8 months plus, even 7, or even at all, but for me, I just did all the way. So this was about, I was about 8 months. I mean, I rode all the way till about, yeah, that day I gave birth anyway. So, but people say you shouldn't ride the bicycle, at least worst case scenario 8 months. But to me, I looked at it like an exercise too. And also, the truth is, secretary, I was like, this will enhance the labor too. So on my way back, yeah, it was like, little, maybe after 20 minutes, you feel a bit of the backache or a bit of something, but then it's gone like that. And then I reached here, I actually had energy. I was so energetic. I did a bit of house chores there, and I was running around the house. And then I don't know why I was so energetic. Then at around maybe 4 or 3 there, I started feeling all the energy now disappeared somehow again. And so I was like, so at around maybe, yeah, my husband normally comes home at around 5. So I just called him before he came, and I was like, I think I'm having contractions. I didn't know what they are because, like I said, it was my first time. And then when he came home, he made dinner, and then he made the bathtub for me, and he tried to ease everything for me, but I didn't have appetite. And then yeah, and the bathtub was wonderful. I'm not going to lie. I think it was the best thing I ever did. So everything did kind of disappeared at that time. I didn't feel anything while in the bathtub. I enjoyed it very well. And then I got out because everything had disappeared. I was like, oh, let me get out. So I got out of the bathtub, and then um, everything now went to another level. Everything was on high gear. So this was about maybe 7 in the night. And then my husband said if things persist, I will call the hospital. And about 8, he called the hospital because everything was persistent. So he called the hospital, and the hospital was like, they inquired for him. They asked him to explain everything that was happening, and they said, we don't think she's ready yet. But keep in touch. So they get updates from you, and they can determine, if you should come in. I guess they don't like overcrowding the hospitals. They have a system, and of course it's perfect because I love Denmark. Everything is well organized. So at around that 8:39, my husband called a taxi, and we got in. I could not walk, so we were in the apartment in the city, in our apartment in the city, and a bit of us because we are on the first floor. But in Denmark, first floor there will be also a ground floor. The way it's calculated, or the way they do it, is not the actual first floor. There is another floor down, which we call, I think, two. It's two, something like that in Denmark, like ground floor. So I could not move, but he helped me move, and we got the taxi. And it wasn't easy. I was at the back by myself. My husband sat with the front with the taxi man, and then I went feeling contractions, but not really so intense. And then we got to the hospital. They were ready for us. Everything was ready. They got us in the room. They put us in a room, in our own room, and it had a bathtub and one midwife, a young one, so nurse. So I asked if I could get in the bathtub. She said it's okay, and I got in the bathtub. I enjoyed my bathtub again. Everything was now intense, but still the truth is not really so intense. But I was ready. They checked me, I think I was 6 centimeters at that time, and somehow from the bathtub, when I left the bathtub, when I entered the bathtub, everything again disappeared, just like it had happened in the house, the apartment. And then immediately I left the bathtub like this, everything shut up again. I just remember kneeling down, and I said, Jesus. And immediately, I didn't mention it, but while all this is happening, my water had not broken. That's the funny thing. So I said Jesus, and the water breaks. They had already changed my clothes. I didn't mention this, but in Denmark, you're not supposed, it's not mandatory you can carry, but there's no need at all. No need to carry anything to the hospital. Everything is there, even what you're going to wear. So, and the wear is very flexible for giving birth. It's some comfortable cotton shorts and some top, almost like this one that I'm putting on, but of course cotton, comfortable, which is very convenient when you're going to, after you give birth. It's easy for you to open the buttons and breastfeed, or this chest to chest with the baby, which is very perfect for bonding. They encourage it so much here in Denmark. So the water broke, and immediately broke maybe in 5 minutes. She called an older midwife, and she disappeared somehow. I don't know. So I think everybody has their own work to do. So she left, and then I was now left with the older one. She started measuring me and everything to see, and then she was like, I lay on the bed, and I laid on the bed, and then she said when the contraction starts, I push. I should not push when the contractions are not there. When the contractions are not there, I should use the time to, breathe and get my strength back. So basically this video is to encourage a young lady out there scared of giving birth, or people say, so many people say birth is the worst, this and this, but we are different people. Different people have different experiences. I did mention this, but my son's pregnancy too was swift. Of course, as a pregnant woman, there are bad days and good days, but there are all those, the feelings in the mouth, like you're not feeling yourself totally. I will be honest, you don't feel perfect, but I think compared to the other people, what they go through, because I've seen people vomit all the way or go to hospital. Some of my friends, I have people have been admitted almost the whole pregnancy. So we are different. So don't listen to people, just pray to your God. I love my God and he loves me so much. So pray to your God to give you a effortless birth. Don't overdwell on what people are saying. Everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own destiny. So run your own race. So immediately the baby, she said push, and then the baby said came out, and then she was like, okay, again, breathe in, breathe out, and you feel the contractions, push again. And that's how my son came out. And immediately a gentleman came in. I think he was already waiting by the door. I don't know how it happened, but a gentleman came in. I just know he dressed in white and took the baby, not really took out of the door, but by the baby small bed or crib, the hospital one. I don't know if it's called baby crib, but it's the hospital beds. Those who have given birth will understand it. So he just cut his umbilical cord. I checked him out and cleaned him, and just cleaned him, not washed. In Denmark, we don't really wash our babies when they are newborn. We actually advise to wash them after 10 days. They say it's good for their skin. Maybe that's why my son's skin is perfect. But because I believe it. At first I was like, oh my God, but it's that it helps um keep the skin natural, and they say it's helpful. I think you can read about, yeah, when I get to know the I'll find out, but they just say it's good for the skin, but I'll find out more about why they recommend that it's not in the next video with when I talk about the birth of my second child. I'll mention the advantages of not bathing the child. So I'll mention them there. So basically, and after that, before they could give me back the baby, while he did all that, she wanted the placenta out, the midwife, the one with me, and then she just said, the placenta is still there. But I didn't even know this. That's the truth. I didn't know, okay, they also have to remove the placenta. I just thought it's just when the baby comes out, that's it. So she just pushed my legs up and down, and the placenta slid. She didn't do anything. I don't remember anything she did, like giving me medicine or anything. Now, in fact, all my pregnancy was swift. I don't know about why they give people all these drips. I'm not a person who gets sick so much, so I don't even know. I don't know how they call all these cables they put on women. You see movies, or when women have given birth, they have all these injections. I really never experienced it. I don't know about it, and I thank God for that. And I'll never experience it on none of my children or my generation or my children's children will ever experience that, or anybody in my family or my friends. Amen. So basically, so the baby is out, and do they change us? Yeah, they come. There comes another section of people that put you on a bed with the baby, of course, on your chest, because they've opened, those buttons I said. So they've opened you and put your baby. So you're breastfeeding, or you're breastfeeding, and also you're having that bond, chest on chest. And they take you to another room while you rest, and then they'll come and take the baby's blood, for They do a lot of tests. I don't know how many tests, but they take a lot of blood, and it's from the knee. And is it from the knee? I just know the knee, and I'm like, well, the baby is so small, but they really squeeze out a lot of blood because they have to do check out for, I think, all the illnesses, if I'm not mistaken, in the world before they can let you go with the child, because I think they want to just make sure everything is perfect. So they just, I don't know if they take also from the hand here, but I just remember that canny, because for me when they're taking, I don't look there. Oh my god, because the baby is so tiny and they're taking all this much blood. I'm like, oh, I don't look there. My husband looks. When he comes, I'll ask him if they took from the hand here, and I will let you know in the next video of my daughter's birth, or my second baby. So yeah, and in a few hours I was ready to go home. That's the truth. I was feeling perfect. I was all like revamped. I was like a new girl. So I was totally ready to go home. So in few hours they were like, the baby is perfect, you can now go home. I just carried my, did I carry anything? I just carried my baby. The truth is we didn't come to hospital with anything for my son, because my husband has said in Denmark you don't carry anything. But I feel like, I feel bad because I didn't have anything like a duvet or a baby soul or anything, or baby clothes. I just carried the baby with, even the, you know, the baby hospital too gives you baby clothes and your own to put on, but it's not for you to take but to use while you're there. And all other things, towels, or you know, all these small towels. Those who have given birth in Denmark will know them, the white ones, you know, the ones you use to clean the baby's milk and everything. So basically they give you everything, and then you just have to uh, leave them back, excuse me, when you're leaving. So basically that's how we, yeah, we had to go with the cars, the small duvet and the baby clothes, because we hadn't brought anything for him. And yeah, I'll call the taxi again and left. So that was how swift uh, and effortless I gave back to my son. So we got home and we just started, you know, you had to adjust to the new life as a mom. But it wasn't hard with the, just because it was one child. It's a different experience when you come home with, and there are two children, and the feelings, I'll explain them in the next video with the second child. But this, everything was like effortless, and I was back to me. And of course minus those who have known me before know it came with the weight. But I will, if I have to do this over again, vis-a-vis weight, like now you see it's back to, I'll do it over again, because I can't miss my blessings because of weight, you know. Maybe that would be, I don't know, I will not receive my blessings because of weight, something that can will go with time, because that's my body for you, you know. I didn't know it too, because I thought I slim. Those who have seen my photos and those who have known me before, I was really 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 very slim. So it's not for people, it's for me. I'll have them the blessings and with the weight, and then I'll deal with the weight myself. So thank you so much for watching. You know, God bless you. And for any young lady out there who has not yet given birth, or you've given birth and would like to give birth again, so just pray to God, be confident, be yourself, stop listening. You can listen to stories, but don't determine your life and chapter on other people's stories. It's yours, it's your own race. So your, maybe your story will even be more perfect and effortless than even mine. But I'm just saying mine, I don't know if there's anything that beats the word effortless. Yeah. So I just want, above all, to thank God, because without him I wouldn't have enjoyed and have had all this effortless birth. So I give all the glory to God, because he did it. He did it for me. And if he did it for me, he can do it for you. So watch, subscribe, share, and invite your friends, especially those who are aspiring to be moms or hoping to have a family in future. And also I think having a support system. I thank God. And also secondly, I like to thank my husband, because like I've mentioned him all the way, and I did mention the part where the back with my son. I had this backache, like I said, when the back started in the hospital. At some point before the water broke, it was really intense. I just remember pinching my husband, holding on to him. I pinched him until his body was, his hands were all red here. And even when he would remove his hand from my back, they gave us something for the back, but I just wanted my husband. He would massage my back in that all his hands had turned red. So just imagine, in Uganda we call white man muzungu. So you imagine muzungu, and he has over rubbed something. His hands were like red hot. So of course there are bits and bits I might have left out, bits and bits I remember, so that's why I'm chipping them in. But in case you have any questions or inquiries, or anything you would like to say to me, or encourage me, anything you like to recommend, just feel free to write in the comment section, and keep it very uh, not really like rude, or but just leave any suggestions or comments in the, and any, if you want to know more about my birth, and more about birth, giving birth and everything, you can send me a message, or you can send me on the comment. You can just ask how we can talk, if you want to talk in private, and I'll just send you details of how we can. Otherwise, what did I also forget? I forgot a part where I was watching a movie before I get back to my son, and some ladies were talking about pineapple and curry powder, that is very good for enhancing labor. So I took that a lot too in my last days before I get back, in the last days. So maybe it works. I'm not sure, but maybe it worked, because it's, yeah, because it was effortless. So maybe such things worked. So I'm just saying what I did, so maybe it can be helpful to someone out there. Otherwise, stay blessed. Mwah.